Ahoy there, and a good day to you. My name is Grace O'Malley, but you may know me as the Pirate Queen. I sailed these very seas myself where our story takes place, but long before Captain Tommy Francis. However, his tales have become quite the legend around here, so allow me to introduce you to The Adventures of Tommy Francis. Part 1.
In all of the 7 seas and the shores where he stays, one pirate's name is acclaimed, for he is the captain in command of a ship and the waters on which he sails. His boat is as tall as a giant, with a crew of 100 good men. They all say the same. Tommy Francis is a name you will never forget. His story is legend. From Portsmouth to Wexford, all taverns have heard of his name. They sing of his praises, they drink to his bravery, and flock to from where he came. The subject of shanties from his sea-based antics are sung from the ports to the boats, for he is the captain the Queen could not capture, condemning his crimes in a court. If rumors be true from the words of his crew, this captain defeated the Kraken with only one bolt. He hung from the boat, and he pulled back his bow like elastic. Swoosh went the arrow shot faster than light, and right in the eye of the monster, which let out a groan. It clattered the boat, then sank down to Davy Jones' locker.
Aye, aye, Captain!
His shipmates would shout. When Tommy walks onto the deck, they drop to one knee and they bow to his feet to show the young captain respect. At ease, he politely informs them, "For everyone's equal on board, I may be the captain, but here we're a family, and thus we shall live by that code. Today we shall sail until sunset, for I have a treasure to seek. Sim, hoist up the flag. I'll take the wheel, and we'll follow this map to the east. I've heard there's a chest in a wreck. It's been abandoned not far from a shore. We'll pull up real close. I'll drop a rope, and we'll drag that old frigate afloat." Crash goes the waves up the side of the ship as it slips through the sea with an ease. This boat was built strong with the finest of timbers, designed to withstand all it meets. The water is choppy and vast here, with waves the size of a whale, but still we sail on with our flagons of rum, because courage will always prevail. So take note of our flag that is hung from the mast, as fair warning to those who approach. It's treasure we hunt. If you're sailing with some, then believe that we're boarding your boat. For we are all pirates, the men of the seas. Our lives are but one big adventure. We take what we want, and we do as we please. A pirate never surrenders. As we're chasing the sun on the glistening sea, we whistle to show our good spirits. Some pirates are sitting by barrels of rum. Some pirates are over there fishing. The wreck that we seek is near Mexico's beach, 1,000 leagues in the distance. The journey is long, but our faith is strong, with reward of a trunk full of riches. The rumor I've heard is the chest is still there, containing gold, diamonds, and rubies. We'll drag it on board. We'll pop that old trunk and divide a fair share of the booty. So sing out me hearties for pirates. The sea kings of the ocean depths will go to full sails as we conquer the waves, making ways to remains of a wreck. After sailing for hours, the crew could devour a banquet too big for a bear. I reach for my spyglass to seek out an island directing the ship over there. But as we're approaching, to look less ferocious, I ask that we take down the flag to give the impression we stop for refreshments and not to lay claim to their land. for I've heard reputations precede us, that there's damage wherever we dock. But that's based on how well you receive us. We like taverns and slop for the dog. In exchange, we will share you our silver, which will pay for your wares and repairs. So opinions are way out of kilter and far from the mark we deserve. After raising our tankards and singing our shanties, we fill up our bellies with grub, a good hearty meal for the men of the sea, before leaving right back to the boat. We may be waylaid by our hunger, but it's chunks of gold bar that we want, so time to refocus. Get back on the ocean. We're not very far from the Gulf. The sun sits up high right above us. Thank goodness for my tricorn hat. Then all of a sudden the crow's nest, shouts Captain. I think we've arrived. I'm rubbing my hands in excitement whilst watching the water intensely. It's there, shouts out Sim from the starboard and points to what looks like a wreckage. I turn the ship's wheel that direction, and the crew dissemble the sails as we slow to a stop. All our fingers are crossed, and we peer at the wreck that remains. My heart picked up pace as I saw it, a trunk that was held by a net. I turned to my crew and said, "Which one of you wants to dive in and free up that chest?" A voice from the crowd stated, "I will." Stepped forward a dashing young man. "My name is Tom." And then with that, he jumped from the boat to below with a splash. He wrestled the net, which was heavy, but managed to loosen the trunk, shouting, "Throw down a rope, I'll make it secure, and then try to lift the wooden box up." It took near 10 men just to move it.
Hee-ho!
They pulled it on board to a round of applause as the whole ship had ceased to come see. I walked over holding my breath whilst praying that rumors be true. I broke off the lock and then opened it up, and well, what was inside had me moved. The chest was indeed filled with riches. There was diamonds and rubies and pearls. The pirates on board went ballistic, throwing flagons of booze in the air. But what lay on top is what got me, a mirror, but ever so plain. And when I looked at the reflection, I saw that the treasure was right there within me. Which means what you seek is also inside you. Take your time to truly look deep. Your mind is worth more than a diamond. Choose wisely, and riches you will reap.
So there you have it, the tale of Tommy Francis, a pirate of legend whose name is remembered. Where will he end up next? Will he remain on the seas, or will he follow his fate and dock maybe somewhere out west?